Venezuela concludes the first national day of enlistment in the Bolivarian National Militia as part of the Great National Plan for Sovereignty and Peace. In Ecuador, there has been an increase of almost 400% in the number of homeless people in the city of Quito compared to the last report in 2022. And over the past 24 hours, more than 60 people were killed in the southern Gaza Strip by the Israeli army. Hello and welcome to From the South. My name is Belén de los Santos. I'm from the teleSUR studios in Havana, Cuba. We begin with the news. We begin with the information. We were saying it at the beginning. On Saturday, Venezuela held a National Militia Enlistment Day, an action framed in the Great Simón Bolívar National Plan for Sovereignty and Peace. President Nicolás Maduro has called on Venezuelans to join in defending their homeland in the face of U.S. threats and military deployment in the Caribbean. The enlistment process began this Saturday, August 23rd, and will continue tomorrow, Sunday, August 24th. For militia members, reserve soldiers, and citizens that are interested in enrolling in the defense of their country. This enlistment seeks to reinforce the security structure of the country and to reaffirm the commitment of the Venezuelan people to defending peace without any foreign interference that may threaten the country's stability. In this context, several government officials have ratified their commitment to protecting the nation's sovereignty by enlisting. Popular Power for Foreign Affairs Minister Ivan Gil denounced the aggression and psychological warfare undertaken by the Trump administration. Apure State Governor Wilmer Rodriguez also expressed his firm support for President Nicolás Maduro and stressed that the people of Apure are willing to defend their homeland with courage and revolutionary loyalty. Also, Presidency Office Minister Aníbal Coronado also reaffirmed his support for President Nicolás Maduro Moros and his defense of Venezuela's territorial sovereignty to guarantee peace. And earlier on Saturday, Venezuelan Minister of Defense Vladimir Padrino López stressed that civilians are voluntarily participating in the defense of national sovereignty and in this way rejecting the United States' aggressions against their country.
El pueblo de Venezuela se va a las calles a sumarse, pues.
The people of Venezuela are taking to the streets to join not only the ranks of the Bolivarian militia, where this action is popular and voluntary, but also to join the militia itself. The call made by our commander-in-chief is not only a call to loyalty and enlistment in the Bolivarian militia, but also an expression of the Venezuelan people's rejection of the United States' aggression against the country. It is a call to loyalty and enlistment in the Bolivarian militia, and an expression of the Venezuelan people's rejection of imperialist aggression against the country and its people.
Imperialistas contra el pueblo de Venezuela y contra la patria toda.
And precisely in this context, Vice President Delcy Rodriguez also assured that all workers in Venezuela have responded to the President Nicolás Maduro's call for peace.
We have come with our workers from the Ministry of Popular Power for Hydrocarbons and Superator PDVSA to ratify our commitment to Venezuela, but in response to the call made by President Nicolás Maduro in his capacity as Commander-in-Chief of the Bolivarian National Armed Forces, where he called on the militia, the militiamen and militiamen, the people of Venezuela, all the people, to not remain idle. He called on us to enlist and spent the whole day rallying us here, reaffirming our commitment to peace and tranquility.
And in this regard, President Nicolás Maduro described the rally in Plaza Bolívar as a complete success and emphasized the willingness to defend the national sovereignty of the Venezuelan people.
Today, on Saturday, it's been a complete success, this enlistment process of all popular defensive forces. Tomorrow, on Sunday, We will continue this as it was announced at all Bolivar squares in all municipalities, in many municipalities in the country. I enlist because I love my country, together with my family, together to your family, to your community. Enlist yourself. Long live Venezuela. Long live our homeland. Long live peace.
And now we have a short break coming up, but first, remember you can join us on TikTok at teleSUR English, where you'll find news in different formats, news updates, and much more. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back to From the South. We continue with more information. Ecuador has seen an increase of almost 400% in the number of homeless people in the city of Quito compared to the last report in 2022. According to surveys in that year, there were 793 homeless people, but in June of 2025, the figure rose to 3,942. This is a 397% increase. According to the report, over the last 3 years, hundreds of citizens have been affected by low wages, whereas others are being affected by health issues due to drug use. Moreover, Ecuador is also facing a security crisis with over 4,500 homicides reported in the first semester of the year. Nicaragua registers a growth in economic activity of 5.4% during the second quarter of the year 2025. According to a report by the Central Bank of Nicaragua, there is an increase of 0.3% compared to May of 2025 and 5.2% compared to June of 2024. The document highlights mining and quarrying with 22.1%, driven by gold extraction. The financial entity highlighted the growth in service groups such as commerce, transport, and communications, financial transactions, hotels, and restaurants. And we go now to Brazil, as far-right Sao Paulo Governor Tarcísio Freitas oversees one of the nation's most violent police forces, but it has not been very effective in fighting crime. Our correspondent Brian Mir with more.
São Paulo Governor Tarcísio Freitas, a staunch ally of ex-President Jair Bolsonaro, who is rapidly emerging as a 2026 presidential hopeful for the Brazilian far right, campaigned on a promise to be tough on crime. He's put more police on the streets, but last year the state suffered its highest number of rapes in history, and the number of killings by police officers rose by 61%.
I witness police violence on the streets constantly. I have been closely following the issue of police violence, and I see that it's increasing every day because the current state government in Sao Paulo, run by Governor Tarcísio de Freitas, has been encouraging the police to become more violent.
In downtown São Paulo, Governor Freitas' military police have targeted street vendors in a series of sweeps, during which they confiscate their goods, in some cases beating and even killing them in the process, as happened to Ngagne Mabaye, a Senegalese immigrant, earlier this year.
He was eating lunch with his vendor's cart closed at his side. A group of police officers came up and tried to seize his merchandise. He tried to stop them from taking it. He was completely surrounded by police officers, and he picked up a steel bar to defend himself and hold on to his things. They shot him and he died on the spot. They killed our Senegalese brother, simply because he was trying to work.
There were over 14,000 cases of rape registered in São Paulo last year, with over 11,000 happening to children under the age of 14. The number of killings by police officers rose from 504 in 2023 to 813 in 2024, when 40% of all killings registered in the state were committed by police officers.
Há superinvestimento nas ações de repressão em detrimento.
There is an overinvestment in repressive action in detriment to prevention and intelligence. And this is increasing the number of police killings. So this increase in police killings is closely tied to political choices.
As in many other places around the world in recent decades, promising to be tough on crime is an effective election strategy. However, the policing systems resulting from these campaign promises rarely seem effective in actually fighting crime. Brian Muir, teleSUR, São Paulo.
And we were saying it before, over the weekend, Venezuela holds a great national militia enlistment day in the face of the growing U.S. threat and military deployment in the Caribbean. We go now to our correspondent Bruno Falsi for more details. Tell us, Bruno, how was the day? You were in the key spots of Bolivar Square.
Hello, we are here in Caracas, the capital of Venezuela, now in the national headquarters of teleSUR, in the end of this great journey of the Enlistment Day, where Nicolas Maduro called all the population to come to the streets to enlist themselves, to defend their country and the sovereignty of their revolution. And many people answered the call, and thousands of people rally in the streets of Venezuela in many centers of enlistment, as we were before in the Bolivar Square, where you can see many people of all kinds of age, young people, old people, women, and men. And they went to defend the sovereignty of Venezuela, who is again menacing by an invasion, now by a supposedly military invasion of United States that again attack the sovereignty of this country. In a demonstration of national unity, the people of Venezuela went to support their president, Nicolas Maduro, who is being attacked again by United States. It's important to say that 75% of the population is against this intervention of their country, as many other countries support Venezuela and condemn the attack of United States. Russia speak about this, China, Iran, and some days ago, the Bolivarian alliance, Cuba, and Nicaragua, and Bolivia, to show their support of this alliance called ALBA. And so the next days, we expect more mobilization, as every day people here in Caracas, as in other places of Venezuela, going to the street peacefully, calmly, and organized to show that here in Venezuela, the people are united to defend their democracy and to show their support to their government, who was elected in a democratic process, and they don't want any foreign people, any foreign country to tell them what they have to do about their future. I'm Bruno Falsi, and now we go back in the studio in La Habana.
Thank you so much, Bruno, as usual, and thank you for bringing us all the reports throughout the day. Of course, we'll be closely following the situation, expecting for more tomorrow. For now, we have a second short break coming up, but before, we invite you to visit our Facebook page at teleSUR English. There you'll be able to watch our top stories, special live coverages, and much more. Follow our page and activate notifications to stay up to date on the world's most recent events. Final short break. Don't go away. Welcome back from the south. We continue with more information. Over the past 24 hours, more than 60 people were killed in the southern Gaza Strip by the Israeli army. The Nasser hospital authorities have stated that more than half of the casualties are women and children. In addition, they recorded 308 civilians who were injured in attacks by Israel on different refugee areas. Sources specified that some of the victims were waiting for humanitarian aid. The number of people killed since October of 2023 has risen to 62,622, according to the Gaza Ministry of Health. And in addition, more than 157,600 people have been injured. Also, in the last 24 hours, Palestine reported a new death in the Gaza Strip due to famine. The United Nations Relief and Works Agency warned that the crisis has been exacerbated by the blockade imposed by Zionism on the entry of food and medical supplies. Also, the World Health Organization stated that death from starvation among children under 5 doubled in the second quarter of 2025. Since March of 2025, the Gaza Strip has seen more than 280 deaths due to hunger and malnutrition, with 114 of these being children. In this context, in Yemen, thousands took to the streets of Sana'a to condemn Israel's plans to occupy Gaza City. The rally, which has become a weekly event, seeks to denounce the escalation of violence in the Gaza Strip, where the Israeli offensive has caused a humanitarian crisis. Participants blame the youth government for its complicity in Israel's aggression, and in this sense, the demonstrators are calling on the international community to exert pressure to put an end to the Israeli genocide in Gaza and to stop the Trump administration's support for the Tel Aviv regime. And in New York, United States, 5 people lost their lives and dozens were injured after the tourist vehicle in which they were traveling went off the road. The local police department detailed that the bus hit a ditch about 40 kilometers east of Buffalo, a city in the north of the country. Of the 54 passengers, 5 of them died. The victims were of different nationalities, some of them from India, the Philippines, China, and the U.S. as well. Authorities have begun investigations to determine the causes and responsibilities of the accident. And in other international topics, the North Korean government accuses the South Korean army of firing warning shots at its troops near the fortified border between the two nations. In an official statement, North Korean authorities described the action of their neighboring country as a serious provocation and warned that this could increase tensions. They explained that the incident occurred while North Korean troops were working to permanently seal the fortified border. They emphasized that the incident was a dangerous prelude that would inevitably lead to an escalation of the border situation. And like this, we have come to the end of this news brief. You can find these and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net. Also join us on social media. We are on Facebook, X, Instagram, Telegram, and TikTok as well. For TeleSUR English, my name is Beren de los Santos. Thank you for watching.